All right, everyone, it's time for the occult video number 426, the occult resistance. Yes, indeed. There are some of those of us who believe that mankind should be free. We believe that people should be able to do their own thing, and we solemnly swear to try to uphold that at all hazards. Most people, when they think of the term occult or magic in general, they think of either the hippie trippy, like, grandma with her crystal ball sort of types, which is amusing, but it's not necessarily real magic. Can be, but not always. Or they think of black-robed congregants in a red room, like eyes wide shut mode, doing evil spells and terrible rituals and sacrificing babies and drinking their blood and things like that. I would like to inform everyone, though, of something that I've wanted to inform them of for a very long time. There are those of us who resist. There are those of us who understand the occult, really understand it, understand magic, and use it for the benefit of mankind, to try to spread liberty and freedom, to try to liberate people, to try to liberate their minds and their bodies, and to keep them free, to keep them safe. There are those of us who do genuinely care. We do actually exist, believe it or not. I am part of the occult resistance. I cannot say too much about the form and function of this resistance. It's a rather loose network, you would understand, because, of course, we tend to be on the more libertarian side, so central organization is not necessary in general. We've seen this before. I wrote the literal book on occult memetics. This was based off of the spread of the Pepe meme more than anything else. It was a political meme, but it also took on 1,000 trillion different forms. It was completely decentralized, it was not astroturfed, it was simply fun, and it infected people's minds, but not with a virus that would hurt them, but with a virus that will create liberation. I strongly believe in this. I believe that when people unbridle their own potential, their own individuality, their own creativity, I believe this is a good thing. I don't believe that it's a bad thing. It's the powers that be, in their evil and corruption mainly, that want to stanch that out. It's like I said the other day, that the system was ingrained to try to beat the child out of you. Well, that same sick system is also trying to beat the individuality out of you in general. It's trying to destroy you, because the real you can't ever shine through now, can it? You're not allowed to be the real you. You have to put on the suit and go to the 9 to 5 and follow all the rules and all the laws and the regulations and everything else to the letter, or else, if you run afoul of the system at least, you will be targeted for having done so. Well, the cult resistance fights against this sort of nonsense, and it is nonsense. The idea that a handful of people should suppress all of the rest of mankind is fundamentally wrong. Now, lest you believe that I'm becoming a commie in what I'm telling you, that's the exact opposite of what I have in mind. There's no such thing as stateless communism anyway. It can never exist. It's sort of like having a utopian libertarian society. I'd love to live in one. Too bad it can never stabilize and degrades into mob rule and then oligarchy, and then you have the same problems you had before on steroids. So that's why I'm not a purist with regards to this issue. But I believe in the occultism of our founding fathers. They were generally spiritual people, but very few of them went to a church. Some of them didn't even believe in God, at least the way that it was conceived of back then in the 1700s. And they literally practiced magic. There's one potentially canonical story. We're not sure if it's 100% true, where Ben Franklin and a bunch of the other founders and originators of the country got together and they made a sort of like a metal man, like a robot basically, and tried to charge it with lightning to see if they could bring it to life. Sort of like Frankenstein. This probably happened, by the way. It's the sort of thing that Ben Franklin would think up when he was drunk, which was literally all the time. He liked his whiskey, probably from George Washington. I imagine he got numerous crates as gifts over the years. This apparently actually happened. These people were effectively occultists at times. They would go to the church, but they would use it as a meeting hall and then have debates over whether space aliens existed. These people were, by modern standards, completely irrational, actually, which is hysterical to think about. But I just wanted to let people know there are a very small number of us that are behind the scenes trying to do everything that we can to spread liberty and justice for all. We unfortunately don't have a lot of manpower. Because most people, when they get involved with things that give you power, magic being one of them, they'll become illusionists and charlatans, or they'll become like politicians or something like that, or psychologists. There's a reason why I hate psychiatrists and psychologists so much. It isn't just about my own personal experiences, it's about those that I've heard from others as well. There are people in the world that wish to abuse you. They want to take your money, they want to take your pride away, and they want to take your childhood away, most of all. Because if you can do that, you can control a person for their whole life. They'll just be miserable. They'll lose all sense of hope. There are a handful of us that are trying to stop this. It is a thankless task. It is one that earns us the nickname of insane sometimes, actually. But it is ongoing. I'm not the only one. I'm one of a number, one of a legion. That's about all. Peace out.